So I was thinking what kind of scenario I should upload, since I have like a whole list of what ifs that I want to write and make videos. And for this what if, I was thinking of something crazy but also realistic at the same time, because it could have possibly had happened. Is what if Kakarot was raised by Cooler? And since the movie is really non-canon, I can have a little bit more fun with this what if, having more ideas into it. I was thinking that 100 likes could be the goal of this video. If we hit that, I'll continue this into a full series. And also subscribe, because it shows me that you want to see even more what ifs. But anyways, let's get on into the scenario. So our scenario starts with Kakarot's pod being launched into space, heading towards Earth. And he fly passes Frieza's radar, escaping the destruction of Planet Vegeta. But there is one radar that he pops up on, Cooler's. And just like in the movie, he does see that the pod is escaping Planet Vegeta's destruction, and he thinks that it's a Saiyan survivor. But this time, instead of letting the pod go, he decides to upperhand it. It seems like his brother could even do a good job of killing all the Saiyans. So Cooler's squadron goes and get the pod, and they bring it aboard their ship. So Cooler holds a finger up getting ready to kill whoever's in the pod. But then he sees that it's a Saiyan child. He thought it was just a fleeing soldier, but it's just a child. And Cooler sees what's happening. Some Saiyans sent their child away to survive. Cooler then lowers his hand and he thinks about this. What should he do with the child? He could easily kill it. There really isn't no reason to keep it, it's just a Saiyan, and a low class one for that. But then Cooler gets an idea. He could keep this child and raise it up to be a strong soldier, cause they do need a strong army in order to take on the Frieza force. But that isn't the only reason why he wants the Saiyan. As Cooler does know the real reason why Frieza destroyed Planet Vegeta, trying to extinguish all the Saiyans. He's afraid of one of his Saiyans ending up becoming the Super Saiyan. And Cooler thinks that it will be a great way to stick it to Frieza. He raises a Saiyan that he tried to get rid of to defeat him. And he'll raise him in a way to where he's only ideal to Cooler. As he contemplates the idea more, he decides that he's going to keep the child around. And when he's old enough, he wants his soldiers to train him up as much as they can. As of now, Kakarot's a pretty clean slate. Saiyans do have great memories, so he'll probably remember his name and his parents. But anything else, he doesn't really know. He doesn't know anything about the Saiyans, Planet Vegeta, or even Frieza. Well, except from what Cooler told him. And Cooler tells him that his main objective is to grow stronger in order to kill Frieza. And after a few years, Kakarot is actually treated well by Cooler and his crew. Well, Cooler treats him well. His squadrons are kind of forced to treat him well, because it is Cooler's orders. So Kakarot is kind of spoiled. And he also trains a lot as well, and Cooler's impressed to see his rapid growth. He's been growing a lot stronger, not only by training with his strongest soldiers, but he's also been going on missions growing stronger that way, actually gaining fighting experience from combat. And even if he gets injured during his missions, they have a healing chamber, so when he gets healed, he experiences Zenkai boost from it, so he can even grow stronger from that way. But he usually prefers training up his own strength and not using shortcuts. And he's doing this all at a very young age. And just to remind you that this isn't Goku, this is Kakarot. He never hit his head as a child, so he doesn't have any good traits from Goku. He's actually just a normal Saiyan. And Kakarot's actually doing pretty great. Not only does he have the evil nature of a Saiyan, but he also has Cooler's influence. So Kakarot's gonna grow up just as cruel as him. And eventually, Cooler does send him out on some assignments with his squadron. Now currently he isn't too strong, but he is strong enough to do at least some work. He does go on random planets and does cause genocide. He even takes down some lower tier soldiers on those planets, as those are the soldiers that he can handle. But Kakarot knows that he can't grow stronger this way, just fighting weaker soldiers. He needs some strong opponents. He thrives for stronger opponents and tougher battles, cause in the end he'll just grow even stronger from it. And if he's not off destroying planets, he trains with the squadron, or by himself. He doesn't have to only train with the squadron. Even though Cooler's army is really just the armored squadron, he does have a ton of training facilities. There's even some facilities that have a gravity room, and Kakarot uses that to the fullest, only getting stronger and stronger by each day. And as he grows up, Cooler does take kind of more of a liking to Kakarot. Even though he is just another Saiyan, he's different. It's one that he raised. He's glad to see how much stronger Kakarot's growing, as soon Frieza's reign is gonna end, and Cooler's gonna be on top, taking his rightful throne as Emperor of the Universe. And who knows, maybe he'll have Kakarot kill his father too. He would have handled all of this, he is stronger than the both of them, but he'd rather have Kakarot handle it. And as Kakarot grows even more, he does eventually hit his growth spurt and become a fully grown Saiyan. Cooler starts sending him out on different kind of missions. Instead of going to random planets genociding them, he makes him go to random Frieza bases and destroy them, making Frieza's forces grow weaker. He's not only destroying their supplies, but he's also killing their high-ranking soldiers. And Kakarot handles these missions with ease. He thinks that they're all weaklings compared to him. And from time to time, he does come back with a few injuries. And this makes Kakarot happy, as there is some strong soldiers on Frieza's army. We then cut to Frieza, who's very pissed off. There's been a person out there that's been destroying his forces, destroying his bases, and even the planets that he owns. Whoever this person is, they need to be dead. And overlooking some of the footage from the Frieza bases that was destroyed, he sees that person that was attacking. it looks like a Saiyan. There's another one alive? He thought he wiped them all out, except for a few. And not only that, he looked at his hairstyle, and it reminds him of that one Saiyan that rebelled against him. He must be his son or something, taking on his father and rebelling against Frieza. Frieza then calls on Vegeta's squad, as he wants them to investigate this new Saiyan. Now Nappa and Vegeta don't know who this Saiyan are, but he must be low class by the way he looks. But one person recognizes him, Raditz. He knows, that's Kakarot. Now Raditz doesn't say this out loud because if Frieza finds out that that's his brother, he might kill him for being just related. And Frieza orders him to find the Saiyan and capture him and bring him here, as he wants to chat with him. As he wants to know why this Saiyan is attacking his bases and who he's working for, because obviously he's not working by himself. Because there can't be no way that he knows all these Frieza base locations and planets that he owns. Someone has to be giving him all this information, and he wants to find out who. So he's going to make them post up at one of the Frieza bases. If he's going to keep on attacking bases, then he should eventually run into them, and they can handle him. We then cut back on the Cooler ship where Kakarot begins to ask Cooler something. He doesn't know much, all he knows is that the planet was destroyed. But is there any left out there in the universe? And it's not like Kakarot's loyal to the other Saiyans. He just wants to know. And Cooler knew that he was going to have to tell Kakarot at one point. But he says yes, there is a couple of other Saiyans out there, and they work for Frieza. And Cooler even adds a few little lies about the Saiyans, saying that they cast him out for being too weak and being a low-class Saiyan. They were going to send him to a deserted planet where he was going to die. But Cooler himself personally saved Kakarot, giving him a better fate than those Saiyans did. And with all this knowledge that Cooler gave Kakarot about the Saiyans, Kakarot can tell that Cooler's hiding something. He's obviously lying. He knows the reason why he was sent out. He can remember. He was sent out to survive. He probably said all that just for him not to join the other Saiyans and Frieza. Well, it didn't matter. He's not joined the Saiyans or Frieza. But he does eventually want to meet these other Saiyans though. And if it comes down to a fight with them, he wants to make sure if they're worthy of living or not. Who knows, they might be strong enough to have around as good rivals. Because that's one thing that Kakarot wants. He wants someone to push him to become stronger. Because yeah, right now he's trying to become stronger than Frieza. And after that try to get stronger than even Cooler himself. But he doesn't know anyone beyond that. Cooler's the strongest person he knows. And if he gets even stronger than him, what's going to be left? He needs someone to keep pushing him to new heights. And even though he grew up under Cooler and have his influence, he's still a Saiyan at heart. And he wants to grow stronger. Taking over and ruling the universe, that's not him. He doesn't want that. That's Cooler's dream. Well, he wants to just become the strongest person possible. Stronger than beyond anybody. He was raised to be a strong soldier and warrior, but he wants to be the strongest of them all. So he needs a rival in order to obtain that. We then cut to a Frieza Force base that the Saiyans are on, as Nappa and Vegeta are still trying to figure out who that other Saiyan is. Cause if he's causing that much trouble for Frieza, that means he hates him as much as they do, which means he should want to join them. And not only that, he has to be really strong too in order to take down Frieza bases by himself. But Vegeta thinks that he can't be stronger than him, he's a super elite. And from the looks of it, he looks like a low-class Saiyan. He must have used his grade 8 transformation in order to take down these bases. That would make more sense of how he's taking it down by himself. Grades do give a 10 times power increase. Raditz calls out Nappa and Vegeta as he tells them to take off their scouters, or at least turn them off. He doesn't want Frieza to hear this. So they do it and they wonder what's so important that they can't talk with the scouters on. And Raditz tells them that he knows who that Saiyan is. And they're shocked to hear this. How does Raditz know who this Saiyan is? And Raditz tells them he knows him because that's his younger brother, Kakarot. At first they don't believe him, but then they do remember that Raditz didn't mention he had a little brother. But that still can't be possible. Even if he's the younger brother of Raditz, he should be weaker than him. Unless he's a Super Saiyan. The three of them then think they need to get into contact with him somehow. They can get him to work on their side. Then they could cause a rebellion and defeat Frieza. Having a fourth Saiyan would definitely be critical to them. Vegeta and his crew then continue to stay on that base for a while. In fact, a few months have passed. And they're growing impatient, as Kakarot hasn't came here yet. They've been getting reports Kakarot is still attacking bases. And this one should be next, as this is one of the remaining ones that's left. But then the Saiyan scouters start beeping as a power is coming towards the base. This must be it. This must be Kakarot. As a pod then crash lands into the planet, and out steps Kakarot, quickly making his move. He starts to kill Frieza soldiers left and right, and he destroys the base while he's at it, and he makes pretty quick work of it too. But then he senses three powers coming towards him. Yeah, that's right, I said senses. Just like how Vegeta was out of nowhere can sense powers, Kakarot did that as well. And Kakarot immediately thinks that those are more Frieza soldiers. But then when he sees them land, he's actually quite surprised. He sees three people with tails and he immediately realizes that these are the Saiyans. The last ones other than him. Vegeta then tells Kakarot that he has no idea how long they've been wanting to meet him, as they've been hearing a lot about him and all that he's been doing. And they keep on trying to talk to Kakarot, but he doesn't really say anything back. It's like talking to a brick wall, and it makes him feel uneasy at first. So the Saiyans decide that they're just gonna get straight into the point. They want Kakarot to join them. With him, they can easily overthrow Frieza, and the Saiyans will be on top. But then Kakarot starts laughing. He's laughing. Why is he laughing? Kakarot then tells him what makes them think that he's gonna join them. Because from the way he sees it, they're nothing compared to him. Nappa then laughs as he sees that Kakarot has hit his head way too many times. What does he mean that they're nothing to him? They're elites. They're beyond him. As Nappa then clicks his scouter to read Kakarot's power level, and it only reads 1500? He's only as strong as Raditz. Nappa thinks it's time to knock some sense into Kakarot, as he then throws a punch at him, but Kakarot blocks it by grabbing Nappa's hand, and then crushing it. Kakarot then tells him that he should never really trust those things, because he's been suppressing his power. But then Kakarot starts showing off more power as their scouter beats, showing that his power is rising. You know what? He wants to make a deal. If they fight him in an all-out battle and somehow impress him, he'll let them live. But if they disappoint him, he'll kill him. So don't hold anything back, as this is where we'll leave this part off. What did you guys think of this video? And do you want to see more? If you do, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It supports me and it supports the channel, showing me that you want to see more what ifs. Anyways, I'm DBZ Anarchy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.